In this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to develop up your content for social media, for your email list, all of those things, and also any trainings that you're developing in your business. This video comes directly from a question from one of my Insta fam on Instagram. So really excited to dive into this with you, getting you prepped so that you can begin developing out your content weeks, months, and even quarters in advance. Hello, Bree Seeley back again with another video to help you be more successful in your business. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am so grateful you are here. If you have not yet met me, I am the top-ranked entrepreneur coach on Google. My goal is to help you be more successful in your business. So today's video is going to do just that. I actually got this question from a follower on Instagram who reached out to me and said, oh my goodness, me and my partner are developing up these trainings and we have no idea where to begin. And I'm going to couple it with a lot of questions I get around how do you schedule out your content 3 months in advance? So if you're watching this right now, I'm actually recording this about 6 weeks in advance. I've gotten a little behind on my recording schedule, but I plan out an entire quarter's worth of content in one sitting. So I'm going to share with you today exactly how I do this, my 3 tips for how you can start doing this as well. And I'm super, super excited to see how you apply this in your business, because for me, operating on a day-to-day basis is a terrible way to operate a business. That to me says you're not an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs have a plan. They have a structure, they have a strategy. They're not just waking up every day being like, what do I do today? They know exactly how their actions are impacting the bigger whole. It's not just about a day, it's about a month, a quarter, a year. So I really want to help you kind of get ahead in that and just really understand how to develop up that content and develop up those trainings so that you're meeting your people's needs on a longer term basis. And we're going to dive right in. Before we do that though, if you like this video, I really want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I come out with videos every single week about entrepreneurship, developing your business, being a great entrepreneur, both ends of the spectrum, because you can be a great entrepreneur and not know how to run a business, and you can know how to run a business and not be a great entrepreneur. I want you to be both. So if you enjoy this video, if you like my energy, if you get value from this, I really want to invite you to subscribe. So let's dive right in. So the first thing that's really, 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 really important when you're trying to figure out what content to share, how to develop up your marketing calendar, how to figure out what trainings to make and provide for your people, is that you need to listen. Okay? Now, everything I do, you can tell this video comes from someone asking me a question. So I listen to my customers. I listen to my clients. I listen to the people that are watching this video, that respond to my email newsletters, that drop me comments on Instagram, that send me DMs. I know what their issues are. I know the problems they're facing in their business, and I use that as the impetus behind the content that I make. Because I don't just create content for the sake of creating content. I create content so that you get the information, the resources, everything that you need to grow and establish your business in a really powerful way. And you can't know what your customers need if you're not listening to them. You need to know how your customers think. You need to know the problems that they're experiencing. You need to go back and watch my psychographic video where I outline how to understand your customer on a deeper level so that you can make sure that your content, your trainings, your marketing, your website, everything is addressing that problem of your client. And you will not know what your client's problems are if you are not listening to them. We can think that we know what our clients' problems are, but unless we actually talk to people that are in our demographics, that are our customers, it doesn't matter what we think they need. We need to hear it from them. So step one in developing out your content, your trainings, and everything else is that you need to listen. Now, if you're new to your business and you don't yet have clients and customers and all of those things, you need to identify, you need to go through that psychographic video, create your customer avatar, and then find some people like that in your community, in your current network, and talk to them. Ask them questions and get to understanding what their issue is. And you do it by listening. The second thing that I want to share with you is to start with the ending. Now, what does that mean? When I am developing up a training, or even, for example, when I wrote my book, before I even sat down and wrote a word of my book, I decided how I wanted people to feel, what I wanted them to walk away with, and the actions that I wanted them to take after reading my book. So I sat down, and I do this with my trainings too. When someone has graduated from my program, where are they going to be? What are they going to have learned? What are they going to have implemented? What are they going to be saying about that time that they just spent working with me? And I start with that endpoint because then I know if that's the destination we're going to, just like programming a GPS, if that's the destination we're going to, then I can build that path. But if I'm starting here and I have no idea where I'm going, building a path is really difficult because do I build it in this direction or in that direction or in that direction? I don't know where I'm going. So starting with that endpoint in mind can really help you understand the exact steps you need to take someone through to get there. I do this literally with everything. I do this with my content. If I want someone to take a certain action, what do I need to share in my content to get them there? If I want someone to get to a certain marker in their business, what steps do I need to lead them through to get them there? Always start with the end in mind. It's the same thing. I talk a lot about visualization. You want to be dwelling in that end point, and everything else in between will fall into place, but you have to start with that end point. Said this before in my videos as well. You can't go to Siri and be like, hey Siri, take me anywhere. She doesn't know how to do that. You have to have an end point. And when you can start with that end point, the steps become much easier and much, much clearer. And now the third thing that I do in terms of developing up content and developing up trainings is I will sit down and brain dump. What are the things that everyone consistently asks me for? What are the things that I'm excited to talk about and share about all the time? What are the things that I read about that I know people are struggling with? What are the things that are my zone of genius? And I just brain dump all sorts of things, and I start to see themes, and I start to see kind of structures. So I created this wheel. My YouTube strategist actually inspired me to do this, where in the center is like the core of who I am. And that for me is helping entrepreneurs be more successful. Then there was like another layer, another ring around that core that was kind of like my core topics, right? So if I'm helping entrepreneurs be more successful, what are like the 6 general areas that I kind of address again and again and again? Mindset, sales, habits of success, marketing, developing up content, all of those things like are on that middle ring. Then there's a bigger ring outside of that, and those are all of the really specific kind of niched down little informational pieces that I can share. For example, I help entrepreneurs be successful. Then outside of that is the marketing ring. And outside of that is, for marketing, developing up your content. It's developing up your trainings, right? Which is exactly how this video is getting made. Because one, I listened to what my people were saying. Two, I started with the end point. I want you to be more successful in your business. What do you need? Three, I developed up, okay, I know this is the core of who I am. Here are some general topics I can address. And here's some really specific information that I can give people in relation to those topics. So I have right now probably a list of 100 YouTube videos that I could make tomorrow. So having a knowledge of what I teach, what my content options are, really takes the pressure off. Again, it helps me not exist in that, oh shit, I have to film a video today. What am I going to film? Instead, I can sit down and plan out 12 weeks worth of content because I'm listening, because I know where I want you to be and where you want to be, and I know all the little pieces that I need to get you there. And I already have all of those laid out so that when I sit down to record, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to talk about today. When I sit down to develop up a training, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what my clients need to get to the destination that they're going to. So again, 3 things: listening, starting with the end at the beginning, and developing up that like content wheel that, what are the things that I can be talking about that are going to make an impact, and getting really specific and really micro with what those things are that you're going to be talking about. So would love to hear from you and know what the most impactful part of this video was. You can either drop a comment down below here or come find me on Instagram. I love Instagram. It's kind of my jam. It's where I hang out the most. You can come follow me and then make sure to drop me a message that says that you found me on YouTube and let me know what the most impactful part of this video was. I respond to all of my DMs and I love having conversations with people on Instagram. And lastly, I really want to invite you, if you got value from this video, to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you get notified every single week when a new video drops. There's another great one coming next week and all of Q2 because I'm sitting down and planning it all out now. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week.